Thanks a lot for the introduction, and thanks for having me. Initially, I was considering to go with more Western references throughout the presentations, have Clint Eastwood pop up every now and then, but to be honest, the last year has been wild enough, so the bear facts should be able to entertain you already. Speaking about the bear facts, so to just give you a bit of context on the challenge. So we are talking about crypto industry and Bitpanda. And compared to, I guess, many other markets, well, to be honest, all of us have experienced a difficult year or continuing to experience difficulties as we are sliding or, well, in fact, are in a recession, at least in Germany. Well, in the crypto industry in particular, everything went down, just one way down. And I want to give you just an overview of the major events that led to this downward trends. And it started more or less with the interest rate increases from the ECB and the Fed. And usually if interest rates go up, any type of more risky products go down, as in the interest goes down for those kind of products because, well, money is more tight, people go into safer products, and, well, this also caused a series of other events. One that you may have heard about was a major one. It was the crash of the so-called USDC, I think, and Luna, which subsequently led or caused the crash of two other companies you may also have heard about called Celsius and Three Arrows. And this, in sum, led to $600 billion decrease in market cap over the course of 6 days. That's billion with a B and 600 with 6 and 2 O's. And this all in the course of 6 days. So this money disappeared. Well, and as if this wasn't already fun enough, there was another small thing that you may have heard about called FTX. So yeah, I think that was the perfect storm. Now, how does this translate towards demand and price? Now, there's a funny thing about crypto. It works differently than other products. So if, let's say, my Nike sneakers go for 500 euros, the demand would probably go fairly low. Vice versa, if the price goes down, demand may rise. So there is this market functions that you know of out of economics. They don't apply to crypto. It's the opposite. As you see, if the price is high, people buy. If the price is low, at least last year, people don't buy. So the blue line actually represents the impressions of our apps. And yeah, so another topic to mention before I go into what we actually did. We faced several constraints, or one bigger one in particular last year. When the demand goes down, you get less registrations, meaning you make less money. If you make less money, you potentially have less budget for other campaigns or marketing channels. And this led us to reduce our spend on paid channels, right? Less traffic, more difficulties. This was pretty much dictated by the market, and everyone else did the same, except for Binance. I removed them because if they are in this chart, you don't see the other graphs. So they were the only ones that continued to literally blast out on paid channels. But all right, let's have a look at what we did and the phases we worked on. So what you'll be looking at is September, I think, September to December, so the red marked area, to guide you through actions we took and events that happened. So two conversion tactics we tried in particular. One, or that I want to point out today, which I found interesting. One is the word mark integration. Nothing really crazy, but what was really funny and interesting, it did not work for all markets. It worked only for one market. We tried it in France, the UK, Switzerland, and Germany. It only worked in Germany. The reason for this, why, like our hypothesis is why it had an actual improvement is, well, people know the brand in Germany, right? So Bitpanda is an Austrian company. People are more likely to know the brand here, so actually reading the name, well, increases the conversion rate. In other markets, it either had no effect or a negative effect because, well, you create more confusion. So yeah, that's that. Another one that we try to be anti-cyclical of the market is buy the dip. So we knew that the customers that we will get, they already have a higher risk appetite. So we tried to capitalize on this by pointing out, well, buy the dip. And on the right-hand side, you see how it looked before. Well, so far so good. I mentioned in the beginning FTX. Well, as you may think and know, buy the dip is not an appropriate messaging if something like FTX happens. Many people lose their money. And in fact, many people then start to look for alternatives. Well, and you need to be able to adjust towards that. And that's what we did. So we adjusted our messaging towards safety and security. And for those that haven't worked in fintech, I mean, it's a niche after all, more or less. Saying protected, regulated, and all the likes, it's difficult. Every single word needs to go through your legal team. You cannot say most secure. There are so many small things you have to consider, get the approval. So while it may seem like a small and easy change, it takes time. And we had the luck that, so it was known that we will receive the BaFin license. BaFin is the German regulator that gives you the licenses to operate and do certain, or offer certain products in certain markets, or well, in one market. Shortly after FTX happened, we received the BaFin license. We knew it will be coming, but thing is, it may be a month, it may be a year, maybe 2 years till you receive the license. So I think FTX happened around November 9th, and we got the license on November 22nd, which was great for us. What it meant for our ASO efforts and conversion rate optimization efforts is we could not continue to change one parameter or hypothesis at a time. We needed to swap the entire, the whole storefront at once because we were expecting a high influx in traffic. Well, it did work out quite well in the end, and already approaching the last slide where I want to show you actually what our conclusion was out of those, well, interesting months and what it meant in numbers. One, I think this also applies to pretty much all other areas, is monitor external developments closely. We are all humans after all. We get influenced by whatever's happening in the world in one way or another. Incorporate those learnings into, not learnings, but events into your creatives so that people are, well, if they are currently feel scared for their money, I guess, because of FTX, you remove this fear. You help them to feel secure, more or less, as much as possible in terms of crypto. Be quick. Even though I mentioned the longer turnaround times of legal, we were still able to get this stuff changed within half a day, from concept to creatives to legal approval and getting everything live. And this is, I mean, if you want to capitalize on external events, this is what you need to be able to do. If you're not able to do it, if you don't have the capacities or the partners, don't even try. And lastly, alignment, right? So you need to, in order to capitalize on the first and second, ensure that everything is aligned with what you want to achieve. Well, you saw the slide in the beginning and also how everything developed in terms of demand and price, so I'm super happy that we actually managed to achieve those results. So while everything dropped, well, not everything, but the Bitcoin price dropped to the lowest price it had in 2 years, 3 years, we still managed to increase the App Store conversion rate by 20% and the Play Store even by 8%. And I'm done 1 minute ahead of time. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed it. I forgot to put a QR code, but you know my name if you want to connect. Thank you.